Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you said you wanted to focus on cross and F2L for this one?
Yeah, I know where I'm going with last layer, so
Yep. So that means that we can just, if you want, we can even just look at just the cross and F2L for each solve if you want to do that.
yeah, that's fine.
All right. So let's see what you have here. All right. Nice cross to start it off, and then you have a pretty obvious green and orange pair to start. Yep. And then, let's see, yeah, blue and orange. One thing you could do here that's not a huge deal. I went back a little bit too far. Is when you have a pair like this, you can do R prime L, U2 R L prime, and that's just like one or two moves less, I think.
Yeah.
So that's basically taking it out and inserting it at the same time. So that leaves you with two pretty easy pairs. Yep. And then that's good as well. Very nice. And then you're on to your last layer. Okay, yeah, you've got the... So yeah, that was nice F2L, which is... I can tell like that was a good one, which is why that one was your best in the average. Okay, so you got a very nice white cross here. And then... Yep. That's exactly what I would have done there. Very nice. And then that leaves you with... So right there, you're doing your blue and orange. And I think that... I'm not exactly sure, but I would bet for this F2L case, you were just trying to avoid cube rotating for as long as possible. But
Yeah.
what I would do here is, because you know that you have to cube rotate, I would just do it at the start and do the faster solution, which is just separating them. You can rotate, separate them with R prime UR, and then insert. So then from here, yep, very nice. And then, let's see.
I probably should have cube rotated the other way.
I mean, yeah, um, but it's not a huge deal because even that, either way, you would have had to cube rotate again to do your last F2L pair. So if I show that here. So yeah, if either way, you're going to have to cube rotate again to do blue and red. So like that's good to think about, but in this exact case, it wasn't a huge deal. And then you do your last F2L pair. So it seems like when I was watching this earlier, I was thinking it's very clear that you've got all of your basics down. It's just that sometimes when you get some sort of complicated situation, you might not know the best thing to do.
Yeah.
So let's look at this next one. And this is much tougher on white. I think, yeah, it looks like you might do yellow here. Okay, let's take a look. That's very smart. That's probably how I would have done it. That was a very good way of dealing with it. And then here you've got a bunch of easy pairs. You've got blue and orange here. You've got green and orange in the back there, and I think you have green and red up here and then in the slot. Slot. So, yeah, let me take a look at this one more time. Okay, so from this position, right here, you're doing green and red.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, from this angle, you can connect your pair with L prime UL. Or what you can do is rotate so that blue is in front and connect them with RUR prime. And that just instead of having to take out the corner and then solve the pair, it takes it out and connects at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's what I would have done there. You still have some easy F2L pairs, and I'm willing to bet you're going to do blue and red here. Yep. And then, very nice. And that sets up your last pair pretty well. And just looking at that, it might just be because of the slow motion, but it looks like you hesitated a little bit here. Did you see that these were lined up, or do you know like what happened there?
I don't remember. Let me find the scramble.
This is the third one.
Okay. You there?
Yep.
Okay.
So can you, but like you, the reason I'm putting this out is that I think that at your skill level, this is getting to the point where, especially on your last two F2L pairs, you should start thinking about being able to look ahead and see stuff like this. Like one example I would give is that when you have your last two F2L pairs and you're only using R and U moves, it should be pretty easy to look ahead straight from one into the other.
Mm-hmm.
And that, of course, look ahead is a big thing, but it's something that you can start thinking about at your level. Okay, this one looks very easy on white and all right on yellow. And that was good. I would have done basically the exact same moves, except I would have done it starting with red on front, and I would do L B prime R prime F R.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty much the same thing, and I've noticed that you're pretty comfortable with doing those F moves to insert cross pieces, so that's fine. And then that was a pretty good way of dealing with your blue and red pair there. But there is an advanced F2L algorithm for it that I think you'd like, which is if you move over the corner, so you do a U prime from this angle, and then you do a lefty sledgehammer, then it will set up for the 3-move insert into the back.
Yeah.
And once you know about that, it appears all the time in solves, and it's really useful.
What is lefty sledge? Is it L, F prime, L prime,
F?
F?
Yes.
Okay.
So can you see how that solution works?
Yeah.
So that's from either angle. Like for the going into the back right slot, it works the same way. It's extremely useful. But for not knowing about that, the way you did it is pretty good. And then you spotted that. You do a really nice job of not panicking when you don't spot things and waiting and making a good decision, which is really useful because that means that you are efficient. Then, let's see.
Kind of fumbled there.
Yeah, and that works, but from this angle, you can also set them up by doing RUR prime here.
Okay.
Which saves the one cube rotation. But yeah, being able to do that kind of thing from either angle is important. And this way, yep, that did set you up with your last F2L pair quite well. And then you're on to your last layer. So and these are all 16 to 18 second solves, so you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I was surprised 18 was my worst.
Oh yeah, what? And 18.6, yeah. So what would you say is your overall average right now?
On Cubicle Timer, my average out of 935 solves is 18.5.
And if some of those solves are from a while ago, your average is probably a little bit better than that.
Yeah, my last my current average out of 100 is 1867.
All right. So you're in the
Yep.
18-ish range.
Yep. And then average out of 50 is 1850.
All right. Then we're on to solve 5, and this one has a very easy yellow and a free pair on white. So we'll see what you do here. Very nice. And I don't know if you planned that, but you did preserve the green and orange pair.
No, I did not.
Oh, well, then you do blue and red.
I guess I didn't see that pair.
Yeah, that will. Let's see. When you're done with your cross, let's see what position you're in. It was stuck in the back here, so it is harder to see than your blue and red. And the blue and red's not too bad, so that's completely fine. Then you've got blue and orange here, which is nice but kind of tricky to spot. Same with green and orange. Okay, and yeah, you do your green and orange, very nice. And that sets up your your orange and blue. And then there you cube rotated just to spot it, and then you cube rotated back, so that's fine. In the back it can be hard to spot sometimes. So that was very nice F2L. I'd say, like, going forward it can be good to look out for free pairs like you had there. That's like the only thing I'd comment on, is if you notice that it might have made your F2L a little bit easier.
Yeah. What I sometimes have a hard thing is like, okay, if I see a easy cross and a really easy cross, but not preserving an F2L pair, but a hard cross with preserving it, which one should I do?
That depends on just how hard the cross is, and of course it's hard to think about it in terms of time then, but how do I explain this? So at this point, it's probably better to go for the easy cross than the hard one with a preserved pair, just because you're not really worrying about planning your first pair in inspection anyway. But once you get down to always planning your first pair in inspection, then you'll start taking into account things like free pairs into what cross you choose.
Yeah.
So just looking at this scramble, you've got okay crosses on both, but nothing excellent. So I would probably do white here, but yeah, I would do white.
Oh wow, I'm actually surprised. I thought I did something different. Well, while I was looking at that, I found a way more efficient way.
So let's walk me through what you found, and I'll try it on my cube.
Which one is that?
This is number 6. This is the 1846.
Okay. So what I would have done is with white on bottom and green facing, or I mean blue facing me, I would have done a U prime, F2, R prime, F prime, D prime, and then R prime L.
That's very good. I would have done something a little bit different, but it probably would have been about the same amount of moves. But it's very good that you're spotting that stuff now, even if you don't spot it in the solve.
Yeah.
And that one was tricky. So let's see what you got here.
I had really easy F2L after that cross that I just did.
Yeah. So you've got an easy blue and red. And then you've got green and orange, I'd say, is your best bet. Yep. And then green and red. Oh, and then that's going to set up your last pair, yeah. So you get a little bit lucky here. And then I think this just goes to show again that, like, if you can look ahead here, then that would be a case where you can do F2L extremely fast. Okay, let's set up next one. You got a 1540. And just looking at this, looks like an all right white and pretty good yellow. So let's see what you do here. Okay. That's not exactly what I would have done, but that was good. Your cross solutions are getting nice. Are they? Yeah, they're getting very nice. So then you've got your green and red pair, I think, is your best bet. Or, yeah, blue and orange, that's pretty good. But the one thing is, I went back a little bit too far, is that you could do this from this angle without cube rotating, just in the back.
Yeah.
So that's what I would have done there. And I think it would be good for you to start getting in the habit of doing some of your difficult F2L cases in the back, just because once you can finger trick them well, then they aren't difficult anymore. And then you clearly spotted that. Very nice. And then that sets up your blue and red very nicely. And then you've got green and orange set up very nicely. And with your double flicks there, that was very good. Like, it's clear to me that your F2L on your 14s and 15s is a step above your F2L on your 17s and 18s.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of pauses and sometimes in terms of efficiency. And see, that was a 15 even with 2-look PLL. And then you've got another 15.
Yeah, I keep trying to learn those the A, C, and D G perm, but I mean, I just every time I try to learn them, I end up messing up.
I mean that's how it with 4x4 pair a very long time. But I just kept like trying it and relearning it over and over again until it eventually stuck and I got it right.
Yeah.
Did you learn the V perm though?
The V. Yeah, I did. I know every one of them except those 3 G perms.
All right. So you made some progress with full PLL.
Yeah, I have. I've been lazy. I will admit.
Well, that's all right. Your white and yellow are both pretty good. Let's take a look. I'd say that was a good cross. There's one small thing you can do to save a move in there. So let's show you. So from this position, instead of inserting blue and then green, you can actually save 2 moves by first doing green with D prime, R prime, D, and then your blues down here, and you can just solve that with F instead.
Yeah.
So I think that saves you 2 moves. I think that's worth it there, but what you did isn't bad by any means. And then, let's see. Nothing stands out to me as being excellent for a first pair. But, okay, you spot that. And I think this is another case of you cube rotating for it when you don't have to.
Yeah.
Which
I wouldn't have cube rotated, but I can't do it as fast as I can right-handed with my left hand.
One trick that I found with that is that instead of doing it, if you're doing it from the left or even from the back right or back left, instead of doing it as L prime, U prime, L, U, for example, you can do it as the inverse. So U prime, L prime, U, L. And I found that I can do that a lot faster.
Yeah.
Same thing from the back right, for example. Instead of doing R prime, U prime R U, you can do U prime R prime U R.
Yeah.
And that, like, if that's what it takes to get you in the habit of doing that from any angle, I think it's definitely worth it. So then you've got two easy pairs here. And I think, yep, you do green and red. And one thing that's really nice here is that you, instead of doing it as like two steps, you let the moves kind of flow into each other for this pair. That was very nice. And then your best bet there is green and orange. Very good. And then that was very good as well, which leads you into anti-soon. And then that was another 15. So then we're on 1650. On this one looks very easy on both white and yellow.
I can't. I thought I did yellow at least once. I don't remember though.
You probably did. When you inspect, do you like make a point out of looking at both colors and seeing which is better?
Yeah, I do. I spend about, in competition, I try to have everything done within 8 seconds. But, normally whenever I'm at home, I just kind of sit there, sometimes don't even do timed inspection, just looking to see and trying to plan out in my head, the whole cross.
Yeah, and that's very, very good practice. I know that some people that do white and yellow just do white and then only do yellow when white's bad, but that's not taking full advantage of being able to do either color. So it's better to, and you know this, of course, it's better to see which is better on each scramble.
Yeah.
So then, if you were going to do yellow, this is one where I wouldn't be surprised. But white, let's see. So yellow I can do in 4 moves, and white I can do in like 5 or 6. I think I know what you're going to do here, but we'll see. So there is something different that I would do there. So I would actually start with blue and with yellow on top and blue in front. And this one's the 1650 if you want to try it.
Okay. Let me. Okay.
So I would start with yellow on top and blue in front. And then I would do D, R, F, B prime, L, D prime.
Yeah.
And then I think that's just like a few less moves and it lets everything set up each other. Cross can be difficult. So let's...
Yeah, with that cross solution, I got all the pairs except the red and green one without a cube rotation.
I mean, yeah, let's actually take a look at that. So you've got, I see you're going to do blue and orange. Very good. So then you're going to do red and green here, I think. And then here, I think it, okay, yeah, so that's what you did to avoid cube rotating. There is another sort of advanced thing you can do here that's very similar to what you did. So you're going to, you take it out with R prime UR, and then you're inserting it with F prime U prime F. And you can kind of do both at the same time by doing an F at the start, then R prime UR to take that out, and then F prime, and then you'll insert the pair.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, so like that's something I need to get into the habit of doing, but
I never thought of that before, actually.
Yeah, it's very neat. And then you did a very good job of cube rotating so that your last pair goes into the front right. And then there you go. So we've got 3 left now. So you've got your 1866. So let's get that set up. On this one, you've actually got a free F2L pair on white or yellow, but it looks kind of hard to save. Yeah, I would probably do white here, but let's see. So let's skip ahead a little bit here. Got, yep. Yep, that's exactly how I would have done it. Excellent. And then I'd say this blue and orange is your best bet, but there's probably some other good ones as well. Yep, green and blue is good. Very nice. And then, yep. Okay, so you're doing red and green. So this is something I've seen you do twice now on the average, where you solve this by separating them and then you connect them with R prime U2R and insert. When I think what I would do here is just cube rotate so orange is in front and then separate them and insert them. And I'm not sure like where you're getting like this solution here, but I think it's better to just disconnect them like normal to solve them. Yeah, same thing here. I'm not exactly sure like where you're getting that.
I think I had a friend that taught me that at a competition once. Like probably, I don't know, 6
Well,
or 8 months ago.
well, I think that it's something that you can avoid. So if I set that up again. So here, you can just do L, U prime, L prime. And
Yeah.
then your pair is already set up to insert. And I think that's the much better option there.
Yeah, I see that now.
Yeah. And once you know, you can work on it. So let's see. And this is going to set up your last pair. So then you solve that. And I think that the reason this was the slowest one in the average is just because you got that one F2L case multiple times.
Yeah.
And then that leaves us, you've got 1856 and 1851. So let's okay. Well, let's skip ahead a little bit more. So looking at this one, this is another one where I wouldn't be surprised if you do yellow.
Hmm.
Oh, I can kind of see what you're doing there. But I would do something kind of similar. Let's see if I can set it up. Let me look at it one more time. So I would start off the same way. I'd do B2 here to solve the blue, and then L to solve the red, and then your green will be right here, and you can do L, F prime, L prime, and then that will set up your orange. But you did something pretty similar, actually. So then you got two easy options. You've got green and red, and you have blue and red. And you choose blue and red. And that sets up your green and orange. Then, okay, very good. And then solve that. And then here.
Oh, hey, I want to. Can you give me an algorithm for that pair? I've been waiting to get that case the whole session.
Okay, this I was actually going to say I want to see what you would do and talk about this. So, what I do here for this or for the mirror, like if it were going into the front right, is from this angle you do a U prime, and then you insert the corner into the bottom slot with L prime UL, and then you do another U, and then you have an easy F2L case there.
Yeah.
I'd try that right now if I were you, and just make sure you can see how that works.
Okay, let me see if I can get that set up real fast. This is so weird trying to solve a cube. Like, I don't think I've ever done this before. Like,
Try to set it up, yeah.
yeah. Okay. So what did you say?
So you've got this case. So do a U prime from the angle on screen, and then insert the corner with L prime UL,
Okay.
and then do a U move,
Okay.
and then from there you can do L prime UL, and then your pair should be connected.
Yeah, mine was flipped though.
Oh, yours was flipped?
Yeah.
So then that's a different case. Like once we're done with the session, I can record a quick video and show you what I mean or something. But and then that'll show you what I mean. But there is a much better way to do that case.
Yeah, that's like the only case that I've had problems with.
Yeah, that one's tricky. So then we've got one more solve to look at. Okay, let's see what you've got here. Okay, that cross looks pretty good. And then, what's your good first pair? I think green and orange, if you spot that. Yep. And then that lead, like if I were doing this, what I would do here is as I'm inserting that, I would spot the blue and orange in there and go straight into that right here. Let's see. Okay. You do blue and red, that's good. Then you've got blue and orange, I'm guessing. I'd say that's an example of where you should cube rotate the other way.
Yeah.
Because your other slot is now in the back left. And now, yeah, you have to cube rotate twice. So then you solve that well. And then let's just look at the last layer on this one. So you've got this algorithm.
I did the wrong algorithm here.
Oh, all right. And then solve that. And then you have the U-perm. So overall, you're doing very nice. Your decision making is mostly good, and your efficiency is mostly good. I'd say, like I said, some of the main things are when you get to complicated cases, sometimes then you don't know what to do and resort to doing something that takes a lot of steps. But like I'll get the video to you sometime tonight of that one F2L case. But a good rule of thumb is that for any F2L case where at least one of the pieces is in the top layer, you can connect them with just one trigger, or set them up to the RUR prime insert with just one trigger, and then just insert them from there, which gets rid of the entire middle step of getting them both into the top layer.
Yeah.
So that's a good rule of thumb. Of course, that doesn't show you what any of the solutions are, but you can, of course, ask me. You can look at walkthrough solves. You can experiment on your own. And let's see. And like I said, I think that you're getting ready. You're at the point where you can start thinking about look ahead.
Yeah.
And I'd say some good practice for that for now, just getting ready for it, is you can try planning out an F2L pair and then doing the entire solution with your eyes closed. You can, and then I wouldn't spend too much time on this quite yet, but something I'd try is you can just scramble your cube, do cross, and then plan one F2L pair, and then while you're solving the F2L pair, practice intentionally looking at one piece on the cube that isn't in that pair and just tracking where it goes. Just to like practice the skill and get in the habit of not looking at the pair you're solving right now. So I'd say those are some good things to get started with look ahead techniques. So do you have any questions or anything?
No.
All right. Well, you're doing great. I'd say if you keep up the practice, you have plenty of potential to make a lot of progress this year.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm trying to learn. I would like to finish PLL before competition season starts firing up again.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard if you just keep working at it.
Yeah. Have you got any other lenses besides the kit for your camera?
Not yet, but I should. I've found that some shots I want to have a really narrow depth of field, and I can't really get that with this lens. But I should be getting more, but like I haven't yet.
Yeah, I've got the 55 to 250 lens. It's been good to me.
That's cool.
It's a little bit noisy when you're taking videos because of the, it's a kind of an old lens. It doesn't have the internal focus like the kit lens does, but it works.
All right. So if you have any more questions, of course, you know how to get a hold of me.
Yeah.
So I'll see you later.
All right. See ya.